Eighth Grade is a new film by Bo Burnham, and it's honestly an absolutely gorgeous movie that really captures the essence and awkwardness of being a teenager in middle school, like unlike any movie has ever done before.
A lot of people call me quiet or shy or whatever, but I'm not quiet.
Most quiet, Kayla Day.
I don't talk a lot at school, but if people talk to me and stuff, they'd find out that I'm really funny and cool and talkative. By the way, I like your shirt a lot. It's so cool. What?
So there have been a plethora of high school movies, and all of varying degrees of success, and there really aren't that many for middle school. And there are some that maybe have characters set in it, but it's not really about life in that time. And that's what this is all about. This is the last week in this girl's life out of 8th grade. She's getting ready to graduate 8th grade and getting ready to move on to high school. And this character is portrayed so excellently by Eileen Fisher that it feels so real that it's incredible. You don't know, every bit of it feels so real, and it feels so awkward at times. It feels scary at times. It feels like it's funny at times. It's so well crafted by Bo Burnham. And it's amazing that this is his first movie and he's directing and writing it. And really, he got his vision on screen so perfectly. And he really, again, from A24, they let him do whatever he wanted. I've read some interviews with him talking about the process, and he wanted to get real 8th graders. He wanted to have 13-year-olds on screen, and because he wanted it to be real, he didn't want some 20-year-old playing them. Because even though when you have a 13-year-old, you have to work around the child laws. You can only film for 9 hours a day or something like that. And I'm sure you also have to have I think they have to have schooling for them too. There's a lot of complications with doing this, but it's so worth the end product that it's just amazing that he was able to do this with his first film. So Eileen Fisher plays Kayla, and she is again an 8th grader, and she is kind of an introvert, but she wants to be popular. She wants to hang out with everyone, but she has a lot of anxiety. But she does these YouTube videos in her bedroom. And when I first saw the trailers, I was a little worried about how they would incorporate the YouTube videos into the movie. But he does it really masterfully. Because essentially, when she's going through these events in her life, she's going to her first pool party, or she's meeting up with older kids from the high school that she met when she was shadowing the one at the mall. And there's a lot of different things that she does, and you see almost the video kind of playing, you see in the background, they're along with what's going on in present day, and you see her almost talking to herself. The video is her giving advice to other people about things, but it's really giving advice to herself, and she's sometimes unable to take her own advice. And it provides an inner monologue too, which is a lot of times tough to do and not be obtrusive in a movie. But this is so well crafted that it's perfect for it. And you see these moments that the other kids, the popular kids, are really mean to her, and they're all it's so well done. And especially I love because a lot of times she's it is a modern take. Even at the same time though, if you're me, if you're a guy, you'll still, I think, relate to her. And if you were a 7-year-old woman, I think you'll still relate to her. Even though you didn't have to deal with the social media and the phones. And I think that some of the stuff in this movie could be outdated after a few years' time. But I think because it'll live in this moment, and it's preserving this moment forever. And I love that when she's on the phone or on the laptop, in movies, most of the time, screen images are simulated because they can do weird things with the lighting. but when he was making this, he wanted that glow you get. Like, if you ever see, if you ever look at someone like looking at a phone in the darkness, like there's this glow that kind of like envelops their face, and this like almost kind of like an eerie sort of glow, but it's kind of cool though. And like there's no way to get that without actually having her like have a phone up to her face. And when they do that, they like she's on Instagram and she's on the different things, and they made like fake Instagram accounts, like they did to make it real, to make it like she's like all these kids are real. And you see her like she has a crush on this hot popular guy. And like every time they do that, they play this like techno music that is it's really, I mean, it's almost like it's objectifying this kid, but I mean that's it's all from her viewpoint, and like the score as a whole is really excellent. Like throughout the movie, I love the score, but you get this character like she is trying to deal with things, and she's trying to like. And there's a lot of hormones. And I think another director may have like tried to stay away from some of that stuff. However, in doing so, it would kind of lose the reality of the time. Like when you're that old, like their hormones are raging. Even though like it's really awkward, like you have those hormones, and like you don't know what exactly is going on. And there's some really funny and some cringy moments from this, but probably one of my favorite moments of the whole movie with the girl, a banana, and the dad coming in, and like because she hates bananas, but she was going to try out something on the banana, but it was like so funny and awkward, and I really think Josh Hamilton as the dad. He was amazing. Like I hope that he gets nominated for supporting actor, because he is so perfect. Like I mean, it's so awkward too, but like he is a single parent raising a daughter, and he doesn't know exactly what's going on, but he wants to be there to help her. And like there's so many like funny but also horror moments with them, and like he was always kind of there for her, but like also at the same time like she doesn't want him to be there. They really tackled that relationship so well, because that awkward with like she's on the phone and she just wants to be on the phone, and there's a lot of stuff that it's funny. It's a good movie to watch in the theaters, because there's so many different moments that like people will have different reactions to it. Like there's a very vocal crowd, like you cringing or going, "Oh my god!" Like in some scenes, and laughing. Some laugh. Like I know there's a group of girls behind me laughing really loud, like in some sequences. And there are there are some things that there's some not thrilling things, but there are some scary sort of moments at one point. And in those moments, another movie may go over the top with it, or make it like they go too far. But this one, it doesn't go far at all, but then like it's still impactful to the character, horrifically. Like it's really an interesting take on like something that can happen like that. And that, I mean, I don't know if I've ever seen anything quite like it, but it's just so like really a horrible moment that you almost don't want to watch. Like it's I don't know, it's tough to describe without like spoiling anything, but it's really just such an amazing movie. It does so many interesting things throughout the whole length, and I mean there's a lot here, and it's just like you keep wanting to go with her. You want to see what happens to her, what ends up with her character, but then like you also don't want to know. Like you want to let her have the experience of those moments herself, and like you want to have her, the camera, follow every moment. But like I really liked everything that this movie did. I'm just so glad that I took a little bit of a road trip to see this. Like it wasn't playing anywhere around me. I know like this past week they upped it to like 100 theaters. But I was actually able to go, like, one in State College, the theater had it, and it was like an hour away. So we made the trip and saw that and got some steak afterwards. So, I mean, it was a great movie to see. It was well worth the trip. So if you have it, look around on Fandango, so you can see like the nearest theater that's playing it. Like, it's worth making a trip to go see. like, because especially to support a movie like this, an indie film that is so powerful and so well crafted. I can't wait to see what Burnham does next. This is an amazing film, and I would highly recommend it. I'd probably give it like a 9.75 out of 10, maybe even a 10 out of 10. I'll have to see if what it'll be like to watch it again, but I don't know if it'll have the same impact like in repeated viewings. But I loved it, and if you can go see it, you really should go see it. But thanks for watching. Check out every playlist or my head, or subscribe to me on that Z over there. And if you like the video, feel free to like and comment and do all that stuff. Gucci!